Hi guys, how are you doing today? Welcome back to Random Lifestyle Vlog. So today I'm going to be testing some P.louise makeup products. I've been thinking about subscribing to their budget box for a while now. There are so many people who love it and recommend it, so I thought this would be a good idea, but I think I should probably test the product I have first, and that's what I'm going to do today. And by the end of the video I'm going to be able to make a decision whether I should subscribe to their box or not. I also think this is going to be a great opportunity to try and create a Valentine's Day themed makeup, because just by looking at the P.louise product, you think like Valentine's Day, right? I mean, or it's just me. I mean, it's all like heart and pink and everything, so obviously that makes perfect sense. So let me just quickly show you what I have here. So this is the palette that we'll be using, like 100%. This is the newest palette, Blend Away 2022, and that seems like an obvious choice because look at that. Look at the shades, these like pinks over here. I think this is where I'm going to go today with my makeup. I have two other palettes, but these are not the ones I'll be using today. Let me just quickly show you what I have. So this is the cassette tape palette Vacation. So these are the shades. That could be a nice choice for Valentine's Day, maybe too, but it's maybe a little bit too summery. And then we have It Takes Two, and this one is more in like a brownie shades. They look pretty, but I think this is my obvious choice. What else do I have? I have this highlighter. It's like a really nice champagne-y tone. I do have this blush over here, which is going to go well with this kind of purpley pinkish makeup, I think. I do have two lip liners. So I'm not really sure whether I'm going to be using them or not, because you know, I can only use like one lipstick or one liquid lipstick. This is the lipstick I have in shade Birthday Suit, so that is that shade. And then I have two liquid lipsticks in shade Cocoa Bean and Partner in Wine. So these are the two shades. And then I have this eyeliner, and as you can see, it has these two shades over here. I think this one can go quite nicely with the makeup. I mean, we'll see. And then the last product is this brow balm. So I'm going to start with my eyes. It makes just more sense, and I'll be able to choose my lip product. I don't really have much choice when it comes to like my blush and my highlighter, but it should be fine. It should just go quite well with this palette. So I'm going to do things slightly differently this time. I'm going to do one eye off camera, and then I'm just going to get back to you and show you how I've done it. Okay guys, I'm back. So this is the look I decided to go for. So very kind of like purpley pink, as you can see, some sparkles, a little bit of like a halo eye. So that's what I'm going to be doing on my other eye now. I was actually trying to do this makeup holding this palette in my hand and kind of like using the mirror that we have here. It's so heavy. I mean, honestly, it's just good to have like an additional mirror to use with that. So I'm going to start with this brush over here. As you can see, it's quite dense. It's not too big, but not like extremely precise. Just something in the middle. And then I'm going to start with applying this color here, which is Past, in my inner and outer corner. As you can see, these are actually really nicely pigmented, so that's like a first good thing that I can tell straight away. I swatched the previous palettes, and I don't know why the shades swatched a little bit more like patchy, but this one actually swatched beautifully, so I really had high expectations, and so far I need to say that yeah, I'm quite impressed with this palette. I mean, obviously I just tried like, I don't know, maybe 5-6 colors in general, but it can already tell you a little bit about the palette, right? So I'm still like kind of packing this Past shade in these areas here. Obviously we'll be like blending them in a minute, so I'm just going to be using like this more fluffy clean brush just to blend it out. So next up I'm going to apply this shade over here next to Past, which is Present, and I'm going to apply this shade with this bigger fluffier blush into my crease. So it seems like in the previous palettes these matte shades were a little bit more like kind of dry. This time I don't really have like any complaints about that. They really work really nicely and they blend beautifully, so that is actually really cool. Obviously we have to blend it all out with a clean brush as well. So next up I'm going to use this precise brush, and I'm going to apply this Let It Go shade over here into my inner and outer corner, but I'm going to kind of try and build this color here and make it like more multi-dimensional with it. So, you know, we're just applying a little bit of that and kind of like try and blend it in like straight away, so that we have this gradient. So just to control the intensity, I'm applying a little bit, I'm blending it out and checking if this is the result I want to have, or do I need a little bit more. I'm going to apply a little bit in my inner corner. Like, my eyelids are not really massive, I don't really have that much space to just go ahead and add like multiple colors, so I just need to be very kind of precise, especially in my inner corner. I also have slightly hooded eyes, especially in this kind of like inner part of my eye, so yeah, that's the part I have to be particularly careful about. So again, a fluffy brush, and this time I'm just going to use this one over here, which is New Slate, and I'm just going to blend this upper part because you can see that there's like a kind of like a line here, and I kind of want to make it like less visible, like more blended, so I'll be blending that with a lighter color as well, just to make it look like more seamless. And again, a clean brush, and I'm going to blend it out even more. So I'm taking a clean, kind of precise brush, and I'm just going to do the brow bone. I'm going to mix this, these two colors, and this is, what is that? Better Attitude and Chapter 1. So we're going to go with a little bit of that and a little bit of that. And again, back to clean blending brush, and I'm just blending everything together. So now we're going to do the lower lash line. I'm going to use the same precise brush that I used for the darker colors before. So again, I'm back to the Let It Go shade, and I'm going to apply that. I'm going to apply it in my outer corner, but just like a little bit of that. I'm not going to drag it like too much like forward, just a little bit here, and then a little bit here in the inner corner. And I also want to make sure that it kind of connects to what I've already done on my upper lid here. So I'm using the same small brush. I'm going to use a little bit of that Present shade, and I'm just going to blend this color on my lower lash line a little bit, so that it's just like a little bit more blended with my skin, so that it kind of all makes more sense together. So I'm just kind of like blending it out. And again, clean brush, just to make sure it looks seamless. Okay, so it's time to add the sparkly bits. I'm going to use this shade here. The name of it is Here and Happy. I'm going to use my finger and apply it all over my lid. So I'm applying it on this kind of like a clean part of my eyelid, but I also want to blend it together with the shades on the side here, so that it's like kind of, again, it has to be, everything has to be like blended and kind of connected. You don't really want to have like those almost like lines where like one color ends and the other starts. You want everything to be blended and kind of like make sense together. So yeah, we've done that. Next up, I'm going to use this precise brush that I used for the light colors on my brow bone, and again, I'm going to use the same color that I just put on my eyelid, this Here and Happy shade, and I'm going to apply it here in the middle of my lower, on my lash line, like along my lash line in the middle part of it. And obviously we need to blend it together a little bit more. I'm just going to add a little bit more of that darker shade here in my outer corner. It feels like I need it a little bit, and then just blend it again, and that is fine. And then the last bit, when it comes to like my eyeshadows, I'm going to add a little bit of sparkle in my inner corner, and I'm going to use this shade over here, which is Resolution. So a little bit of that on this kind of precise brush, and I'm just going to apply it here. And obviously I'm just going to slightly blend it in so that it just looks like it makes sense with the whole makeup. Okay, so these are eyeshadows done, and I have to tell you, I'm actually really impressed with the quality of this palette. The mattes are just so beautiful. They're really pigmented, they're not really dry, which, I mean, this is like a personal preference. Some people don't really mind like those dry eyeshadows. They are not as buttery as, like, for example, sometimes you have like Natasha Denona or like Pat McGrath shades that are like almost like buttery. So these are not like that, but they're actually really good. So now it's time for my eyeliner. This is the one I've used, the darker shade here. This is Dark Side, and the packaging actually looks quite like, I don't know, in a real life it looks very kind of like aubergine like shade, so I thought it will make perfect sense with that makeup. But once you apply it on your eyelid, it's more like cool toned brown, which is not ideal, but I think it actually looks all right. I mean, normally I would just probably go for black, but it is what it is. I kind of wanted to try an eyeliner as well, so let's do that. I'm just going to try and do this like here on camera, so if I fail, then I mean, I apologize in advance. So I'm just going to do the line here. That's not really too difficult. I hope I will manage to do the wing on camera, because you know how it is. Things just work better when nobody watches, at least for me. Okay, so there's that. I do have slightly hooded eyes, so I draw my wing a little bit lower. But then you kind of have to connect it with the lower lash here, so it's just good to drag it a little bit here and then just draw your wing from this part. Okay, so making sure that these are kind of like in the same position, although I've already used my mascara, so it's a little bit difficult to see, but it should be fine. Yeah, it's all right. It's not the one good thing about using eyeliner that's not black is that it's not as visible. So if you just make a small mistake, it's probably not going to be that visible. But I think it went all right. I think it just worked out quite good. So that is fine. Okay, so that's my eyeliner done. I don't know if you can see, but it's not like super dark. It's quite like cool toned brown out. That's how I would describe it. And then I'm obviously going to use my mascara. Okay guys, so far so good. I'm actually really impressed with this eyeshadow palette. So I feel like I'm one step closer to subscribing to P.louise. I really hope that the other eyeshadow palettes or the new eyeshadow palettes that they will release are going to be as good as this one. If so, then it's definitely worth the money. But obviously, I mean, they have so many products, and what I have here is just like a fraction of their whole like assortment, right? Whatever they have. So where do we go now? Should I try the blush? I think I should. This is the Cheek of It Flirty Flash of Color Liquid Blush in shade Raspberry Ribbon. So it's going to be very pink, I suppose. It has this kind of like a sponge here, but I'm not going to apply it directly on my face because I don't really want to. I don't want this to look too ridiculous. So I'm just going to try and apply a little bit on my hand here. And then I'm going to maybe use a brush. Is it going to work like that? I'm not sure. Let's see. Yeah, I think it transfers a little bit. I mean, obviously, if you want to have a little bit like deeper color, then you can go directly on your cheeks with that. I personally prefer to have more control over that. So just using some brush kind of helps with that a little bit. Yeah, that was a good decision for sure, because definitely this one is quite pigmented. It's easier, it's better to just you know, apply more product, like start like with a small amount and then apply more, rather than like kind of like having to blend it out or like trying to sort it in like any other way. So it's better to start small and then just build on it. So yeah, I mean, that color is actually not bad when you use it in like small amount. I'm obviously going to like blend it out a little bit more with a clean brush here. So I must say I was a little bit afraid of that because, you know, it's quite dark, it's quite pigmented. It's just not something I kind of would probably like on my cheeks. I mean, that's personal preference. Some people kind of like this very distinctive blush. For me, it's just it's very rare that I want that, and you know, with that kind of like intense pink makeup, I don't really want my cheeks to be just as pink. So you know, that's fine, that actually I can make it work in a more kind of like subtle way. So there's that. Next up, we're going to apply some highlighter. I really like this packaging, and this is a Skin Bling in shade Champagne Breakfast, and that shade is actually really beautiful. Just calls my name all over. So let's see. That's actually very shiny, isn't it? Obviously I'm going to blend it out a little bit because that might be a little bit too much for now. But it looks pretty. A little bit on my Cupid one here. Okay, I'm going to blend it out. Yeah, that's definitely pretty. It's on a shinier side, so if you prefer something more subtle, then I don't know, get something more subtle, because that one is more, it does remind me a little bit of like Ofra highlighters. It just gives you this proper glow, so I don't really mind it. I have like naturally dry skin, so having a little bit of that glow is actually fine. But personally, I actually really like it. It's a pretty color. It has this really nice shine to it, so yeah, thumbs up. Okay, what do we do next? I have this brow product in here, but I just read that this is a brow balm, so that's something that should just prep your brows rather than like, I don't know, set them. I'm not really sure. I'm just going to use that anyway, because what's the worst thing that can happen? I don't know. It comes with this little kind of like a spoolie, so let's see. Let's see. I'm just going to apply a little bit. Maybe it will just set my brows as well. Well, I think it will, you know. I think it's actually okay. Obviously it doesn't have any color, so you can't really hurt yourself with that, hopefully. Okay, I've done it. I just don't have much to say about it now. I think it's just not really something that you can judge just by like applying it, but I mean, I tested it, so at least that. Okay, so we're down to the last bit, and this should be my lip color. And as I said, I do have like 2 of those liquid lipsticks. Definitely the chocolatey, the brown one, it's not going to be the one that will work, because you know, it's like a proper like kind of warm toned brown, so that's not going to go. I really like the name of this one. It's here, it's Partner in Wine, and the shade is beautiful, but I feel it's going to be like too dark. I do have quite dark makeup on my eyes, so I do prefer to have maybe like lighter lips. So I'm just going to go for, you know, the option that would usually be my like least favorite. This is the lipstick. It's very kind of like pale, so I'm not sure how it's going to work, but I'm going to use one of these lip liners. So let's have a quick look. This one is Flourish, so I do have like a little bit blush on my, so this is the shade, this is the blush, so ignore it. And this one is Sensational, so let's have a look at that shade, and it's down here. So it's, this one is a little bit warmer, so I think I will have to go with maybe the Flourish one. I'm not sure how it's going to work, but let's try it out. Let's see. Worst case scenario, I'm just going to remove it and just maybe use the wine lipstick. By the way, a first thing that just comes to my mind, it's actually quite soft, so that's good. I hate those lip liners that you literally, it feels like it's just scratching your skin off your like face. These are quite soft, quite pigmented, and it's quite like pleasant to use them, which is good. So this is my lip liner done. I applied a little bit of the lip liner all over my lips. I would prefer this lipstick to kind of like blend it with a little bit better. It's a little bit less intense, or like less dark than I expected, but that's fine. I'm just going to try and use this lipstick. I mean, it is super cute. Like, look at that. I don't know if you can see the embossment on it. It's just so pretty. Everything is so pretty here. So let's try. So the lipstick is definitely too light for me. That's not something I would just normally wear, but I kind of really wanted to test it out. Also, it's kind of like matte and creamy, but there is something that kind of slightly bothers me in it. So I'm just going to apply some lip gloss just to kind of like make it a little bit more comfortable. And also you can see that it's just like much lighter than my lips, and it doesn't really want to like blend out properly. So this should actually help a little bit. That's much more comfortable already. So yeah, as I said, I probably wouldn't go with that color if I had a choice, but I kind of wanted to try as many P.louise products as I could. I still think that this is probably the best lip color that I could choose. The wine color would be just a little bit too monochromatic, and potentially wouldn't really look too good. So that's probably the better option out of the two. So to be honest, I think I'm going to subscribe. So I haven't really tried those like liquid lipsticks, and they look quite interesting to me. I need to do that as well. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow, but so far it seems like I'm going to subscribe to P.louise. The palette was actually really good. The eyeliner was nice. I don't really have much to say about the brow product, but you know, we just kind of have to wait a little bit with that. The lip liner were amazing, and the lipstick, as I said, like a little bit too light for me, but that's not really, like, that's no one's fault. That's just not the lip color that I would choose for myself. But all in all, I do feel like their products have a really nice quality to them, so definitely that's something I'll be considering in the next couple of days. Do let me know what you think about this brand. Do you think I should subscribe? Is it something that you'll be interested in like seeing? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you very much for watching. For more beauty related content, check those videos over here. I'm going to see you very soon. Take care. Bye.